Hey, here we go. Now, here's the thing. Baby Yoda and I just made this whole video and realized that it actually didn't record anything I did on the screen. So all the video was my face looking at the screen and talking about stuff. I was going to just publish that because I thought it'd be funny just to make you like look at it and try to figure out what I'm talking about. But I didn't think it'd be a very good idea. So here we go. We've got our learning target here, we're hoping to identify, draw, and construct nets. We already talked about that with the pizza box and with Baby Yoda. So we are taking a 3D object and we're hopefully making it down into a 2D object, showing all the faces of the net. So let's take a look at a cube. Let's get some pens out here. So if we have this side, let's call it A. We're going to draw that nice cube and call it an A. Now, with all of these, you can, I'm going to draw as close to cubes or as close to squares as I can, but it's not going to be perfect. Y'all know that my drawing is not ideal. Okay, next color. We're going to go to this side here and we're going to call it B. So we'll draw that over here and we'll call it a B. Okay, then we've got, let's say, this top right here, and we're going to call that C. And so that's connected to A on the top, so I'm going to draw it up here. Okay, now those are the three sides we can see. Oh gosh, look at that. That's not an A, that's a C. So if we take a look at this, there's more sides than just these three, right? If we took a look at our pizza box, there's multiple sides here. So we have a side that's on the other side of A here. So we can go over here and we'll call that D. Okay, we also look at that. We also have a side that's on the bottom of A, and we'll call that E. Okay. And we have a side that's on the very back, and we'll call that F. Okay. So we've got all these different sides. And if we were to fold them together on the seams, they would make a cube. Now, does it matter where you draw them? Let's take a look. Okay, so we've got all of our shapes here. Now, if we took a look at this side, so if we instead said, okay, we've got this one here, or we've got this D and this B. If we attach, we notice there's also attached to C, both of them. So if instead of drawing them down there, we drew them, let's cancel that. We drew them here and we attach them up to C, that would be totally fine. When we wrap all these around and flip these sides in, it's still going to make our cube. If we wanted to put them all down here and we said they're also attached to the back, to the F, we could put them down here. Or we could say they're attached to E because all of these are attached. We could put it there. Or we could even say, all right, we see that D is attached on one side to A. So we're going to put that there. Oh, we ungrouped D for some reason. Look at that. So if D goes over there, then we could say, okay, but B looks like it's more attached to C. So we could take this over here and we could move B up here. Or we could move B down to F. And it doesn't matter. Once you fold this down, this is going to fold. Oops, this is going to fold down. This is going to fold in. This is going to fold up. This is going to fold up. This is going to fold in. It's going to make our cube. It doesn't matter where you put them as long as they're connected to the right spot. If that blows your mind and you're like, what, Highland, that doesn't make any sense, then cut yourself out, a piece of paper into a shape like this and draw it out and see if it works for you. Now, there's one other thing that we'll take a look at here. Let's just erase a couple things here quick, and then let's group all these up. Okay, so we got this whole thing as one big group. So we labeled it out like this. I could rotate this entire thing, And instead, I could label it. I could draw it out like this. I could move them around in any shape. Again, it doesn't really matter. However, I like to do it as long as I could take this and fold it down into something, it would work. Let's look at the rectangle. So we've got a side here, rectangular prism, okay? Then we've got a side right here, and so that is actually a square, and we've got a square that's going to be on this side, and so we'll draw that over there. We've got a rectangle that's going to go on the top. Okay, we've got a rectangle that's going to go on the bottom, and so I'll put that underneath the purple. And I think that's purple. I don't know. I'm colorblind. And there's a black that is on the backside, and that's going to go on the bottom here, or it could go on the top. It doesn't really matter as long as it's in the right spot. So, or as long as it's on the right track, right? You wouldn't put this rectangle in this side because then it wouldn't work out instead of the square. But you could move the square down here, and that would be fine as long as you can fold it all up and it works. Okay, so rectangular prism, pretty much the same as a cube, a little bit different. If we look at a triangular prism, it's very similar. We can start, let's start here with this. Okay, pause this video for a moment and draw yourself your net in there, and then we'll come back to us. We'll just pause here. Okay, good. I'm assuming that you've paused it and you've come back. If you haven't paused now, and go do it and then come back to the video. Good. Okay, so we've got this square. So I'm going to draw this, this rectangle. I'm going to draw this rectangle right there that looks, less rectangular, but you can use your imagination. Then connected to that rectangle, I see a triangle here. So I'm going to draw a triangle. And then also connected to that rectangle, I see a triangle. So I'm going to draw a triangle on the bottom. Okay, now I can also see that right here, there is another rectangle. So I'll attach that here to this rectangle. And I see that on this side, there's one more rectangle. So I'll draw that over here and attach it there. If I wanted to, instead of putting the triangles there, could I, it's going to be grumpy, could I attach this triangle here? As long as they're the same shape, it's in the same place, they're across from each other, it should work. So as long as I can fold them up and flip them in, it should be okay. I like to keep the triangles across from each other because that makes her a little bit easier. Oh, we don't need some lettering in there. What the heck? So let's look at the cylinder. What's going to happen with the cylinder? Man, this thing is crazy. Let's see. We've got a circle on the top, even though, a cylinder is a circle. It looks like an oval, but it's a circle. Now let's see. Can I draw a circle? Close. Okay, so we know we've got that. We know we've also got this like circle on the bottom. So I'm going to draw a circle on the bottom. Now we've got this section in here. What are we going to do with this thing? Now, even though it looks like it's kind of roundish, it's kind of, I don't know, it is actually a rectangle. Okay. And the rectangle, how long is that rectangle? Well, if you have your Campbell's soup can, right, or any other soup can, your no-name soup can, your whatever, wherever you want to stand in line and get your soup from. If you started here and you wrapped your label, it would go all the way around. So it would go all the way around the outside of that circle. The outside of the circle is called that's right, circumference. And so the circumference of the circle, whatever that is the length of this rectangle. Okay, and then you have your height that's determined here, and then you have your rectangle here. If you don't trust me, you're like, Highland, that doesn't make any sense, that a can flattens out into flat. Go find a Campbell's soup can, and cut it apart. Don't cut the can apart. Actually, cut the label apart, because if you cut the can apart, that would be sharp and messy. You'd have beans or soup or whatever there is all around your table. And so you're going to cut that out. You're going to take a look at it, lay it flat, and it is going to be a rectangle. Okay. So hopefully that all makes sense. Hopefully this video helps you out. Maybe we'll take a look at some other miscellaneous home-based stuff. If you can find something in your house that's either a triangular prism, a rectangular prism, a cube, or a cylinder, and cut it apart and take a little video of what that looks like, turning that into a net, that 3D object into a net, or you find a sweet Cubicraft and you take that and you turn it into a net, that would be awesome. Again, here's my Cubicraft. You can go back and find all kinds, not just Baby Yoda, but a whole bunch of stuff that I have no clue what they even are. Sonic, oh my gosh, look at that. So if you decide, hey, I want to take a look at something, I want to make something 3D, take something 2D and fold it into something 3D, one of these 4 shapes, or you want to take something that is 3D and try to make it into a net, take a little video of that or take a picture of it, or do whatever, upload it to Google Classroom, because that would be sweet. I'd love to take a look at it, and all the rest of us can learn from what you got. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us.